Hi, friends. Thank you so much for joining me for this new moon and Aquarius ritual. Just trying something out. I know we wanted to do this live, but there's just so many different people in our community in different time zones, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody had the time to do this. And I go into this again, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I just really want to reiterate how much I appreciate your support and your time, and it's very important to me. And the point of this ritual is to focus on self-care, to make time for the things in our life that are important, that fill our cup up, and that give us joy and pleasure. So that's what we're focusing on our ritual today. We are using a moon kit that you could purchase at priestessofwonderland.com. This is just something new we're trying out. I would love to continue to do this, but if there's not that much interest, I'm not going to be able to spend the time and money creating these things. But if you did not purchase the kit, you can use whatever you have. Check your kitchen cabinets. You have some herbs and you have some spices in there that I know would be perfect for a ritual for you this evening. We are using we're using rose oil and dried rose petals. So those are focusing on the heart, focusing on self-care. February is the month of Valentine's Day, and I think the most important thing is taking care of yourself and loving yourself wholly and completely before you try to take care of somebody else, try to love somebody else. However, you have herbs in your cabinet. You have some cinnamon, you have some rosemary, you have some basil. I know you have those things there. Pick them out, do your research, and find what magical purposes they have, and see if you can incorporate that into your ritual. Another reason why it's good that this is pre-recorded, so that you can pause and go rummage your cabinet and find the perfect thing for you. It will also give you time to journal what you find about rosemary, to journal what you find about rose, to keep records of these, write down on paper your intentions, get your planner out. If you don't have a taper candle like this, any candle will do, and you can simply just sprinkle your herbs on top of your jar. So like I said, any candle will do, any oil will do, and I seriously mean it when I say olive oil will do, because I I do a lot of house sitting, so I am finding myself just grabbing something out of the cabinet, just the regular old olive oil that you're using for your cooking if I need it for a ritual. The oil itself is just providing something to stick the herbs to the candle with. So honestly, you don't even really need it if you're using a regular jar candle, because you can just sprinkle them on top. Whatever you have in your house is fine, and remember that you are your most magical tool. So happy new moon. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope that Bridget lights her flame, her torches, and lights the spark inside of you and lights the way to keep you on your path. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the ritual. Please let me know below, and I'll see you next time. Hello and happy new moon. I hope that you resonated with one of the 3 pick a card readings this evening, and I hope that it's given you kind of some time to reflect and think about what you want to be setting intentions around, and so that you're ready and prepared to do this ritual. Obviously, I kind of think I wanted to do this live, but I kind of think it's nice to do it, to pre-record it, because that way you can pause if you need to. Because when I do new moon rituals, I take time to journal. I take time to write in my planner, as well as the actual whatever ritual or activity that I'm doing. So I know we all wanted it to be live, but I think this is nice. This way anybody can do it at their leisure and not feel the pressure or rush to do something, especially because of the new moon and the low energy. I personally still have low energy today. And so it's just working out this way. If there's another time in the future that we're able to do it live, maybe we will switch to that. But for now, I think it's nice to just be able to go with the flow and watch it as you need to, and you can pause it as you need to if you need extra time to journal and that kind of thing. I've already opened a circle because I always open a circle when I do readings, especially for other people. So we will close it together at the end, but I just wanted to take a moment to welcome or thank all the guardians for sticking around and hanging out with me while I prepared for this ritual. I just want to thank the guardians of air for their wisdom, for helping me receive the message that needed to be received. And I also asked them that they carry the messages to those who need to receive it, specifically for the card readings. So I just want to thank them for being here. We also want to thank the guardians of the south, who are the spirits of fire. They are the ones that light a fire under our butts, inspire us to do things creatively and to live our life to the fullest in a very passionate and sensual way. So we thank them for sticking around and hanging out with us this evening. Let's put this over here. I don't want it to be too close to the camera. And then we want to thank the guardians of the north, the guardians of the west. Thank you for hanging out and keeping me hydrated and cleansed and helping me not feel overwhelmed. And we thank them for hanging out with us today. So cheers to you all. And then the guardians of the north, the spirits of earth. Oh, I need their strength so much. It's an element that I don't have, that doesn't come naturally to me. So I thank them for their structure and stability and the groundedness that they offer to us. And I want to thank your spirit guides for bringing you here. I want to thank my spirit guides for helping me because I'm always asking for help. I'm always asking for them. Anything else that you might want to grab a journal, you might want to grab your planner. Another thing is just like a little piece of parchment paper. I meant to put one in the kits, but I didn't. So a regular piece of paper works fine too. What we're going to do is sprinkle our herbs on the inside, and we'll be rolling the candle in them. Another thing that you can do is warm your candle up with a hairdryer or a heat gun. This helps soften the wax, and the herbs will stick onto it, so you're actually like pressing the herbs into the wax, which I have like under my fingernail. Sorry, I've been playing in ashes all day, so I have stuff on my finger. Okay, anyways, so that just softens the wax. Sometimes most chime candle holders are kind of smaller than these candles are, so I will, once it's softened, I'll mold the bottom a little bit so that it will fit into a candle holder better. I probably need a candle holder. If you don't have a candle, I often just put them on a plate or some sort of burn safe surface. Sometimes I put them on the crystals. This is selenite, so it's really sensitive, and I always end up getting mad at myself for it. Yeah, let me grab a candle holder. I totally didn't even think about that. So if you need to gather supplies, go ahead and do that now. Another thing I might, like if you don't have the kit, any candle will do, any herb will do, any oil will do. One thing I will mention about the beeswax candles is that I do recommend, if you're anointing them for a scent or an aroma, that you use it immediately. That's one of the reasons why I don't sell scented candles, because the scent really just doesn't stay on there no matter how much oil I douse on there. The beeswax just doesn't absorb. So if you want to roll both of your candles this evening, you can. Just know that it's not going to be as frequent as as it will be this evening when we use the second candle for the full moon. So just keep that in mind. Again, if you don't have the supplies, any candle will do. I hope that before you are watching this video that you have taken time to kind of reflect on what your intentions are. I hope the pick a card reading kind of solidified any intentions that you might be setting. Personally, I am really going to be focusing on this elemental routine and self-care. So that is why we chose the candle color of pink for the heart chakra. The heart chakra is usually associated with green, but it also is associated with pink. So I really need to focus on self-care. I've already gone through I've already done my monthly evaluation that I usually do. This isn't even the right planner. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Sorry about that. I was using the demo planner and I was like, wow, this planner is really neat. Because there wasn't anything written in it. I was like, well, this is really clean. So as I was saying, I've already, so how I use the blank pages that come with in between every new moon, there's also one blank page for every full moon, is I just brain dump everything that I want to do just so that it's out of my head. I don't put pressure on myself to do everything, but it's just what I take a few things here and there and move them to the weekly blank space, and get things done as I can, and then I come back and see what else I wanted to do this month. So I just kind of use it to get it out of my brain, and then I decide what things are actually happening on the weekly basis. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I have my personal things that I want to do, the stuff for my massage business, the stuff that I need to do for YouTube and live streaming, and then for my shop and for the planner. And you can't really see the stuff that I've checked off because I used this green pen with a really light color, and so you can't really see the stuff that I did or needed to do, but I did everything that I had on my list for the planner. I didn't do a single thing for my personal life. I didn't do anything. I did maybe one thing for my massage business. I didn't do anything for the YouTube channel or the live streaming stuff that I or the shop. Nothing, none of it. The only thing I focused on is the planner. So I need to bring self-care into my life. This is why I got sick. This is why I'm not taking care of myself. And I need to spread my, if I want to keep my massage business going, if I want to keep my online business going, if I want to keep streaming, I have to reorganize and refocus and restructure and balance things out. And self-care has to be a part of that. So I've already reflected on last month and the things that I want to change and do as we move forward. And the Aquarius moon helps us figure out different ways of doing that, different ways of structuring our lives, and out of the box kind of thinking. Again, it's an air element, so we're thinking about how can we change this? This is all mental. How can we out of the box kind of thinking. Of course, we can add the air element and that sort of thing to altar. But for me, I'm going to focus on creating an elemental routine, and I'm hoping that that will help create the balance that I'm looking for. For me, this means resting on water days. It means providing some sort of structure for earth days. This also includes like physically strengthening my body with strength exercises or weightlifting. Fire, I tend to really get things done on fire days, and I also try to focus on my body cardio wise, on my cardiovascular system and that sort of thing. And then on air days, I try to do the mental things, the things that require brain power. This is also going to be a day that I will focus on meditation and meditation and breath work as part of my self-care routine. So I've already reflected. I encourage you to reflect on last month and how you want to move forward. Also take a look at your mood tracker. I pretty much know like where is last month? I pretty much know how my cycle goes and how that works. This month was kind of weird because I got sick, so it's not really something that I can really pull that much from. But just definitely take a check back and look at those things as well. So I don't remember where my paperclip was. So from here, what I will physically do is like I've circled things that I need to move over to next month and to make those priorities. So I put those on the top of the list. And then I cross out things that I'm just like, yeah, that's not going to work. I'm not interested in doing that anymore. And I move that over to the next month, the blank pages that are provided for you there at the beginning here. So with that said, combined with the which pile resonated with me the most, those are the things that I'm going to be thinking about while I'm dressing my candle and while I am focusing my intentions and that sort of thing. So like I said before, I've already warmed this up a little bit. And if you had the kit, you have your little oil here. We will come back to it at the end of the ritual, and you have your rose quartz heart here too, that you might want to anoint with this oil. Because this is something that I'm going to recommend that you carry with you. So we're putting our intentions into this rose quartz heart so that you can carry that energy with you. And we are infusing our intentions into this candle. So we're also going to be using, I really like using the roller balls on the candles. I think it works really well. So I use this like when I used to sell the anointed candles, but I kind of stopped doing that after a while. I do also like to put some oil on the wick because that's really going to like ignite your intentions up there. So while you're dressing your candle, while you're getting everything set up, be thinking about self-care, thinking about self-love, thinking about whatever it is that you're setting intentions around. Okay, I did want to have some Solfeggio Frequency as well. I'm working with 417 right now. Oh, I had it there, I just didn't have it on. Kind of get yourself centered. Call your energy in. You might want to take a few deep breaths. Also breathing in the essential oils here. I also like to use this time to think of how the oils make you feel when you take a deep breath. What feelings, thoughts, sensations do you feel when you inhale there? So it's rose essential oil, rosemary infused oil, rosemary essential oil, and rose geranium essential oil infused with the rose quartz gemstones as well. So just think about how that makes you feel. Think about where in your body you feel the sensations, and be thinking about your intentions. Like, how do I create more of this feeling that I feel when I inhale? Aquarius is an air sign, so we're using our breath to really imprint these intentions into our body and into our cells. Where do you want to feel more of that? For me, it's like it's like a breath of fresh air. It's the reason why we have the saying, stop and smell the roses. It really brings you to this moment of peace. Even if it is for just one inhale, it brings you there. So be thinking about that when you're infusing, while you're rolling your herbs. So there's a little bit left over here, and I recommend breaking these up into smaller pieces. And I also need a little bit more on there. I just find that when you have the bigger chunks, when you light it, it tends to kind of, it has a big flame. So you want to be careful. Obviously never leave it unattended, but I find that the smaller pieces, it's kind of why I stopped selling already rolled candles, because I can't have somebody suing me because they weren't paying attention to their candles. So I like to break it up into really tiny pieces. It burns better. It also sticks onto the candle better. And like I said, you can also use a regular candle like I have over here. And you can just sprinkle the herb in there, obviously before it's lit. I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some in there now. Also by breaking this up into little pieces, it's also going to infuse the oil that you've already put on your hands into that too. I'll probably end up needing a little bit more, but I just kind of like roll it around in here just to get some on every side. And then I fold the paper in half, and I really press into it and get that, try to get those herbs to really stick on there. Be thinking about your intention. You might want to be mindful about which hand you're using. Typically, for me, my right hand is my sending. So I want to be like pushing my intentions from my brain out into my arm and into the candle as I'm doing this. So be thinking about that and your intentions. Yeah, I think I definitely want some more on here. So this will last you for quite a few. You'll definitely have, don't be scared to like be using too much. Like I've barely used any of that. So you'll definitely have enough for the full moon candle that we'll be doing, and more. You can continue to do this. I do know, just in case anybody has the metal rollers, like I just reused an old roller ball, so this is a plastic one, but the metal ones do not roll as well. And I was trying to be a little bit more environmentally friendly when I purchased these, but like I was trying to minimize some of the plastic, but Yeah, they don't roll as well. They do work well for the rolling on your body, which I'll recommend you do at the end of the ritual or throughout the rest of the month. But for rolling on the candles, they might not work as well. I was just trying to be good. So again, focus on your intentions as you're rolling. And really press it in there. Because like I said, the beeswax doesn't really hold very well. So, yeah. I think that looks perfect for me. Sometimes you might have to like hold the end of your candle over another flame or light the end of it to get it to stick and stand up. I shouldn't have molded the bottom of this because this candle holder I made specifically for these these candles, so I didn't actually need to mold the bottom there. Alrighty, so get our crystal anointed. You might want to hold it in your right hand to channel that intention into the candle. You might want to be journaling this as well. I did want to, one of the so the question is, am I focused on what I want most? And just in case this helps you set your intentions a little bit more, is one reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. So ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments, prioritize? So I'm prioritizing self-care this month. I have a lot of focuses, so I need to either eliminate things so I'm not spreading myself too thin, or I need to, hey baby, you want to come do a ritual with us? She is so bored because we've been sick and haven't been able to play with her. But so my intention is to really focus on self-care. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not at all. Like, I didn't do a single nice thing for myself this month other than forcing myself to rest because I was sick, and that was just because I had to. So that I kind of hold my hands over my candle and kind of try to envision infusing my candle with that energy. So I'm just kind of like free flowing, like what I was thinking, like I need to take care of myself. I do have my crystal in my hand too, so I'm infusing the crystal while I'm infusing the candle. Take a few deep breaths if you need to really focus and set your intention. I think I'll just be silent for a while and give us all an opportunity to really focus. You can also do this and infuse your intentions into your oil. Hold it in your hand and just envision that it's flowing into there. like us to light our candles together. I still like to hold my hands over it and just really focus. Watch the flame. See what messages or images you see in the flame. Write those down, journal those down, journal your intention. Writing things down is so helpful for me. It like solidifies it. And that's the same thing that we're doing here with the candle, is we're solidifying our thought and our intention. Our thought is just air. It's nothing. It's air. The air element is intangible. We can't touch it. So we're putting it into this candle. We're putting it into this stone, and we're putting it into this oil. So now that we've done that, we can release the guardians. Because opening a circle creates this container. It creates this container to hold this in the same way that we're creating a container or an outlet for our intentions to go into the candle and the stone and the crystal. So by releasing and opening this circle, it sends the intentions out into the universe, but it still allows the energy to be in this candle. So this is something that you can carry with you for the entire month, or however long that you need it, to have that self-love, that self-care energy infused into it, as well as the oil. So the oil, what I do with my roller oils is I physically write on my body every morning different symbols. I have a specific heart symbol for love. Rose is really good for your skin, and rosemary is really good for your skin. So don't be worried about putting this on your face, especially at nighttime. Like, it's a really great moisturizer, and that can be a ritual in and of itself. So I've been having sinus issues, so now I can kind of massage my sinuses up here, massage my forehead, my third eye, loosen that energy. This is something that you can add to your normal facial routine. Doing little compressions on your face. Every morning I draw symbols on my body. Specifically because we're focusing on self-care, I recommend using a heart. So I literally will write a heart wherever I need it. So check in with yourself every morning. This is just a recommendation. You don't have to do this. But if you check in with yourself every morning and notice how your body feels, notice how you feel mentally, and ask yourself where, like, if you're feeling any pain, where am I feeling pain? And then you take this oil, and I always have hip pain, so I'm always drawing hearts all over my hip. Sending love, literally sending love to that area, sending that self-care energy that you've encapsulated into this bottle, into that area. If it's something mental, I'll write the symbol on my hands, and I'll inhale it, or I'll run it through my energy field. If I'm sad about something, I really tune in and ask myself, where do I feel this sadness in my body? And then I will focus on that area and draw the heart symbol on that area. That's just a recommendation. That's how I use my oils every day. I'm covered in oil at the beginning of the day. So, but if you don't want to be putting all these things on your body, you can anoint your hands with it, and again run it through your energetic field, or physically place your arm on that part of the body that might be experiencing pain or tension or tightness. And then you can wash your hands later if you're worried about having this scent on you. Rose is a very florally scent, but it brings me so much peace. I don't mind it, and I'm typically not a floral scent kind of person. So we have our intentions infused into these objects, and we can use them throughout the month to remind us of our intentions, because life gets crazy and we're gonna forget. So take time, if there's anything that bubbles up to the surface that is, actually let me close the circle first. So we want to thank the guardians of the north. We release them from the circle. We thank them for their strength and stability, and for always keeping us safe and protected, and for looking out for us. We release you from the circle with gratitude. Guardians of the south, or I keep getting my guardians of the west, the spirits of water. Thank you for your cleansing waters. Thank you for helping us not get overwhelmed and not get overly emotional, especially when we're talking about self-care. We release you from the circle with gratitude. And guardians of the south, thank you for your fire. Thank you. Oh, and we thank the guardians of the west for our oil element. And we thank the guardians of the north for our earth element here. And we thank the guardians of the south and their fire element for helping us infuse our intentions into this flame, for help igniting this flame within ourselves, to give us the strength and the power and the stamina to continue with these intentions and to follow through with them. We release you from the circle with gratitude. And guardians of the east, the spirits of air, thank you for the breath of life that we all get to take part in every day but totally forget about it. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for giving us that breath that takes us back to ourselves, takes us back to center, and gives us that peace. Thank you for the wisdom that you share with us. We release you from the circle with gratitude. In this new moon in your element, we so appreciate your energy. So now the circle is closed. And we thank our spirit guides for being here. We thank our angels, and we always thank them for helping us throughout the month. I thank my beautiful in real life spirit guide Odin for interrupting us this evening. Yes, we love you. So I wanted to close the circle before I talked about any sort of negative sort of thing, because we've already infused these with good intentions. We don't want to put any negative energy in that. If you're having any of these thoughts come up, I recommend writing them down and burning them, or writing them down and working through them and transforming them and changing them into something else. For example, if you're like, I don't have time for self-care, you say, like, write that down. I don't have time for self-care. And then you ask yourself, well, can I make time? You look at your schedule, you look at your... This is why I use the vertical planner, is because you block, if you visualize your day as a timeline, it helps you figure that out. Like, and I mean, on this template that I gave you for the beginning of the month, like, really write down everything that you do. Like, look at your typical day. Like, I get up at 7 and I feed the cats, and then I like, write down everything. Like, feed the cats at 7. I usually do the dishes at like 7:30. I'm sweeping and vacuuming the floor, or throwing in a load of laundry. Like, write everything down, and then I'm putting my appointments in. I'm putting in my work schedule. So then I can really see, like, oh, well, really, from 8:30 until 10 o'clock, I was on social media. And it's hard running your own business because we use social media as an excuse, like, well, I have to post on social media every day because the algorithm and blah, 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 blah. But really, I'm wasting a lot of time on there. So that helps me figure out my day and see, well, if I omit that, or if it's something that you have to do, but you don't necessarily have to do it here, and you can take that out and move it onto a different day. That's going to give you a couple hours where you can focus on some sort of self-care routine, whether that's exercise, meditation, yoga, pulling some oracle cards, coloring, crafting, creating, even if it is just for 30 minutes a day, reading a book, journaling in your journal. This vertical template helps me find those little chunks of time where I'm able to really fit in things that I want to do, things that fill me back up, things that aren't draining me. Binge watching TV, we all fucking do it. It's not filling our cup back up. We do it every freaking night at the end of the day, wasting how many hours when we could be doing something that fills us back up. We need to be restoring and regenerating in the evening and getting a good night's sleep so that we're able to really, really do the things that we want to do. I could talk about this forever. It's kind of why I wanted it to be live. But I like that anybody can watch this whenever they need to, and they can come back to it whenever they need to. We'll be in touch about what we will do for the full moon. The full moon might be live because, the full moon, we're having more energy. We'll see about it. I'm not making any promises because Lord knows I can never keep them. But I hope you have a happy new moon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, or whatever time you end up watching this. And I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. You know who you are. You mean the world to me. I would have given up a long time ago if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you next time.